What's up, everybody? Thanks for tuning in to this episode of English Turks, where I review your favorite Turkish series with and without English subtitles. And today we are reviewing Doğduğun of Kaderindir, episode 8. And today's video is going to be a voiceover review instead of an actual full video review, with just some clips from the episode because I do not feel well. And so therefore, I felt it would be better to do a voiceover than to actually film a full-on video. And if you are looking for a subtitle version of the episode, please look at the links that are provided in every group on Facebook. Thank you. All right, so let's get into the episode. We started off with Mehdi has voiced his love for Zeynep, and Zeynep overheard it. So did Kibrit, and so did the sister. Therefore, Kibrit's Mehdi's sister decides that she is not going to tell about Benal, and she's going to keep that to herself. Even though it took her forever to spit it out, she never said anything. He kept cutting her off, and then finally he pulls her in. He's like, is there anything I need to be worried about? And she says, no, dude, you do. You do have something to be worried about. And so she doesn't tell him anything. She decides to go back to Sultan and try to get Sultan to give her some kind of solution. Sultan decides that we'll just pay her to leave, which is the dumbest thing anybody, like, have you ever seen that work in anything? You can never pay anybody to leave because they will always want to come back for more, or they'll take the money and still abuse you either way. So that was her solution. Benal gets pissed off, but they present it to Benal as if Mehdi does know about the baby and he doesn't want the baby and still wants her to leave, and that his mother knows about the baby and she wants her to leave. And so it just seems like everyone knows about it and nobody wants her, and so that technically breaks her heart. But honestly, like, she opens her mouth about the baby so easily in front of Zeynep, in front of them, but then when she's talking to Mehdi, she doesn't make any kind of reference to the baby at all. So how can you double check that he actually knows? Like, being that she was so confident that he would have came around because of the baby, I find it so hard to believe that she's not going to be like, so you really don't want this baby? Like, none of those words ever came out of her mouth, and I know it was strategically planned like that way because the writers wanted to seem that way. And it just didn't make sense, her, when she confronted him and when they spoke to each other outside the houses. Like, it didn't make sense that she did not refer to the baby at all, like at all. And so now she's under the impression that Mehdi doesn't want the baby, and neither does Mehdi's mother, which, at least if anybody's gonna say, hey, let's do something for her, it would probably be the mother. So anyway, let's go back to Mehdi and Zeynep. They, Zeynep, she wants to say to Mehdi, but Mehdi has this bad habit, which I think every main character in every Turkish dizi has this bad habit of cutting off people when they're trying to say something. So Mehdi, says, it's okay, you don't have to love me, I just know what I feel, I don't want you to feel obligated, whatever. And she's trying to say something, he doesn't let her. Then she follows him out the house, goes with him to get tea, and they kind of get into this girlfriend boyfriend mode because she's like, you're not the only brave person. She's holding his hand. Then they go out shopping. They kind of, she kisses him on the cheek. He takes that's a thing, kisses her on the cheek, and it's kind of like this whole back and forth. They end up going to this party, which I thought was pretty good based on where everybody stands. The mother kind of tries to make it seem like he does so much more, which he does own the shop. So I don't know why he felt like he needed to say, I'm a mechanic. You should have just said, I own I own a car shop, a mechanic shop. Like, why not say I own the shop? And he looked like he was offended that the mother said that he owned the shop. She's not lying. You do own the shop. Like, nobody else owns it. He owns it. And so I found that very weird. Like, why would you be offended by that? And why do you feel like people are putting on a front? You look at the environment you in. I don't think that you have to change who you are, but at least, for Zeynep's sake, make an effort. I love the whole scene where he ends up going outside and talking to the guys, and they're like, well, who do you drive for? And he's like, oh, I drive for Zeynep, the daughter. And he's like, oh yeah, she's a great girl. It's so funny. Like, he thought he was talking to like the regular people, and then he's like, oh wait, no, I didn't find guests, I found the drivers. And he did stick out like a sore thumb, but he was a little bit like, really gave a lot of pushback. But you know what, I don't understand why they're pushing so much to enter into each other's world unless they really love each other. So Mehdi says, I love you, but then again, he feels like Zeynep has one foot in, one foot out the door, because she, if anything happens to arise on her rich side of the household, he feels like, oh my gosh, like, she's gonna leave me at the drop of a dime. So he keeps reminding her about this whole 1 year thing with the furniture and all that stuff. And so she threw it back in his face, and I was like, you go, girl. You throw that back in his face. I'll be here for just a year, so what I do with my internship is my business. Go, girl. Because he throws too much stuff in your face, and you need to stand up for yourself. But you could tell that she loves Mehdi, so, that's probably not going to happen with her going to New York for any kind of internship. Okay, so let's push them aside real quick, and let's talk about Kibri. Like, I felt bad for her in that situation with Mehdi's niece. Mehdi's niece was being really nasty. I guess she felt like, those people that are just, they want to be good, but then they're still so sucked up into their own world that for them, what they feel like is okay just makes sense. Like Mehdi's older sister, who obviously made the situation even worse. So now Kibrit feels like an outsider, and we all know that she's not going to say anything, and it's going to get worse, and it's just going to be a horrible situation. So then we have Emine, and Emine, really sticks to her girdles and like tells Farouk off and like, why'd you kiss me, and all that crazy crap. And then obviously she does have feelings for Farouk, but I don't understand why Mehdi's friend is so like downturned. I thought he was really like looking to her because she is Zeynep's friend, and they started to get into these connections due to Mehdi and Zeynep being together. But it seems like he's had this long-standing, like, love for her or something, because he's really heartbroken by her going off with Farouk. And now you could see in the new episode, he's going to be warning her against that. And she's like, just let me live. I think she just needs to be straight up and just tell Zeynep. Zeynep, at this point, if she keeps dragging it on, then she's going to make it into a bigger situation than what it is. Why don't you say, something? I do think Farouk moved on. He's been talking to me, and then maybe Zeynep would warn her against it, but I don't think Zeynep would completely shut her down because she wants absolutely nothing to do with Farouk. I've never been one of those girls to be like, well, you can't date my man unless, I don't know. Because, I don't know, if it was somebody that I was engaged to, maybe I would feel some type of way. Okay, so I take that back. I would feel some type of way. Who knows? So let's see how this relationship develops between them. We're still on the lookout for Zeynep's dad, and she's still showing her feelings towards that, which I like that they haven't forgotten him. So you know that his character is really going to come into play sooner or later. And now Banal is working inside Zeynep's rich mom's house, and Mehdi just found that out. But I love the fragment. I think there's going to be another fragment really soon. But the first fragment I really love, where she's like, do you have anything you want to tell me about my husband? And I'm like, yes, girl, Zeynep, stand up for yourself. Okay? I'm about tired of all these people throwing their hands at Zeynep's face. She needs to shut it down. Okay, guys, I'm getting out of hand. Anyway, now, my favorite thing in the whole episode is all these lovey-dovey scenes that we had between Zeynep and Mehdi. And I love, what's so great about this show? Unlike Erkenci Kus, where it was two single lead actors, everybody's like, oh my gosh, they need to be together in real life. I mean, the potential just drove fans completely crazy, and I thought that they worked great together. But some people, like, they just took it a little bit too far. But with Mehdi, it's so much different because, you know, Ibrahim has a wife, he has a baby, he has the love of his life, and there's so much like respect in the filming. You could tell like they pay careful detail. You know, they still want you to feel like Mehdi and Zeynep are connected and getting closer and all that stuff, but at the same time they're still respecting you know, Ibrahim's relationship with his wife, because like even when they were cuddling on the bed, you could see that the sheet was like stuffed in between them. So it's like, I like that. I like seeing that. I like, you know, the caution with how they're interacting with each other. There's still love scenes. It's still like, you still feel it, but then at the same time you still feel respect, like the wife is respected and all. Anyway, that's my review for this episode. I can't wait to see the next one. I can't wait to see you guys in my next video. I hope I feel much better then, and I'll see you guys soon. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Don't forget to share, subscribe, and like this video, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye. Hey guys, don't forget to comment below, share this video, and if you want to see more, subscribe.